man, hurry up, we haven't got all day. Come on, let's go.
Okay, man, I'm coming.
When they told me that Sri Lankan politicians were slow, I just thought that they were dumb. But they're really slow now. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, sir.
What are you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, do you believe that the world of diplomacy is equal and equitable? Do you believe that a small country like Sri Lanka, with a moderate economy and a weak military, could stand up to the powers of a nation such as the United States? In a sense, could a Podian like him stand up to a Mahayan like me? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you think the answer is no, let us give you some food for thought. Mother Teresa once famously said, be faithful in small things, because it is in them that your true strength lies. And with that hint, we will move on to the topic at hand, niche diplomacy to strengthen Sri Lanka's diplomatic presence. We will administer this topic under the following subtopics, beginning with barriers to small nations in the field of diplomacy.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 2016, on the eve of Pakistani Prime Minister's visit to Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan government was about to purchase J-17 fighter aircraft from Pakistan. But then India sent us a white paper objecting to it, and we didn't buy J-17s. Do you think, ladies and gentlemen, that in the 80s we could have sent a white paper to India asking it to stop training and arming the Tamil militant groups in the north? Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that in the 1987, India trespassed our international airspace and dropped food aid into the north. Could we retaliate? Were there any resolutions in the UN about it? And talking of resolutions, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the one we co-sponsored in 2015 October. It includes a part which specifically refers to foreign judges and Commonwealth judges. It says, affirming the importance of the participation of Commonwealth judges and other foreign judges in a Sri Lankan judicial mechanism. And we co-sponsored it without changing the wording. And then we came out and we said we don't need the foreign judges, our constitution won't support it. Do you think that was dignified? Was that edified? That wasn't, ladies and gentlemen. We should have changed the wording in the resolution when we co-sponsored it. But could we do it? We couldn't. That, ladies and gentlemen, is because in theory, we are an equal sovereign member of the community of nations, but in practice, we are just an insignificant Podian without clout. And there are reasons why we don't have clout or influence. Small and medium nations like ours, we can only spend a small amount of foreign affairs, and we have small geographies and small populations, so we have less clout, and we are not, most of the time, we don't have armed might, and because of our Podian mentality, we are not that active in international organizations, and therefore we have less influence internationally and less and fewer allies. Ladies and gentlemen, so how can we escape this Podian conundrum? Mr. George Cook mentioned during one of his lectures, he shared his personal experience with the results of niche diplomacy. He said that he was part of a delegation which dealt with the US, and US asked Sri Lanka at that time, have you discussed this with St. Lucia? And Mr. George Cook said words to the effect that he was gobsmacked. But because St. Lucia was just a small nation in the Caribbean, and how did it have such influence? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is niche diplomacy. And so we are going to talk about how Sri Lanka can, and how niche diplomacy has been used in the world and how Sri Lanka can apply it in our case.
Hence the question lies, what is niche diplomacy? Niche diplomacy is a diplomatic strategy. It's a diplomatic strategy which is used by small and middle power nations. Small and middle power nations are nations which have less money to spend on diplomatic purposes. The most important aspect of niche diplomacy is that they understand that they have a lack of resources. So what do? In order to maximize the use of their limited resources, they invest those limited resources towards an influential topic. Rather than being a jack of many trades and an ace of none, it shows that it's good to be ace of one trade. And by doing this, they enhance their diplomatic standing in the world stage. This is an excellent example how the hard powers of economics and military could be counterbalanced by the soft powers of diplomacy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is South Africa. This used to be a leper due to the apartheid policies. Everyone avoids leper, so they have to live in isolated. But South Africa escaped from its leper state and became an influential international citizen thanks to niche diplomacy. Then they chose nuclear disarmament as their area of interest and become a go-to nation on nuclear disarmament in international fora. Then comes the Norway. Norway is an unremarkable country with small population. However, by being involved in Oslo peace process and being influenced in humanitarian and peace initiatives, they were able to host Nobel Prize. Then comes the Singapore. Though Singapore is a developed country, they had a weak spot, that is water insecurity. Then they implemented robust and diversified water management system. As a result, they gained world recognition as model city for water management. In other words, they became hub to the world. And when we talk about the diplomacy today, there are no border diplomacy or no isolated issues. For an example, when Norway wanted to mediate with Sri Lankan government and the LTTE, we didn't say to them, why are you bothered? It's our problem. And when all those resolutions were brought against Sri Lanka about conducting our war, we could not say, it's our war. Why are you bothered? And another new development in diplomacy today is the rise of lobbyists and non-state players. And also there is digital diplomacy, another new development. So all those new developments are favorable in niche diplomacy.
Well, I'm going to discuss Sri Lanka's future with niche diplomacy. We believe Sri Lanka fulfilled all the necessary requirements for a country that can use niche diplomacy. So we can focus on areas that are recognized and viewed in a positive light by the international community so as to increase the chances of it. Marine conservation, affordable public health, eco-conservation, cultural conservation and integration are some of the important fields that could be pursued in this regard. Therefore, Sri Lanka can make determined efforts to extend its niche expertise in these fields in order to strengthen ties with other states and also to increase its influence at regional and international level. For For an example, if we take marine conservation, we know that Sri Lanka is an island situated in an area which is rich in marine flora and fauna. Therefore, we can bring forth resolutions and advocating policies on marine conservation, as there is a great demand at present in the world, in the international community for marine conservation. For that purpose, we can have a good influence and allies with WWF, that is World Wildlife Fund, and also nations like Australia.
Thank you so much. Since Sri Lanka has gained lots of achievements with regard to the health sector, we can promote our health condition in Sri Lanka as to become strong in international relations, as well as we can use the Senaka Bibile policy and also influence to WHO, UN officers, and also we have developed lots of healthcare models. Then we can promote those models in the developing countries to become strong in international relations. So that we need to develop more career diplomats, also more experts, and also we have to have national policies which can be promoted internationally. By utilizing all those strategies, actually we can become Mahayan like this, Kodian like us become Mahayan like this if we utilize all these strategies and models. Thank you so much for listening to us.